Morning troops. First update of 2025. It's been a long time since I've made a video, um, simply because I've not got a lot to make a video about. Obviously over the winter covers went on and just keeping an eye on the fish and so on. Just inside March, about middle of March are we? Um, so yeah, so been doing the pond filter cleans on my Easy Pod, but when I've done them, to be honest, the water's going out just as, you know, not far off, just as clear going out as coming in, kind of thing. If anything, even though I've got covers on the pond, with the rain that we've had, the pond seems to top up, so it seems to overrun the Easy Pod a bit, so it's an opportunity to let some water out. But yeah, come up this morning, more intentionally just to start doing a bit more tidying to the garden, so I don't have to do it all in one go when, fingers crossed, spring properly kicks in. But I thought, oh, while I'm up here, I'll do a pond flush, because I could hear it as well. When the pump's taking the water out of the Easy Pod quicker than it can come in, there's obviously a build up. So I thought I'll give it a flush. Took the lid off the Easy Pod. First thing I noticed was a load of the outside stainless steel cage was clogged up with blanket weed, so that's starting to come back. I thought, right, I'll get that out. And then the next thing I noticed was a fish in there. So starting the season off, if you like, with a casualty. First time I've sort of lost a fish over winter. I think first time ever in this pond, actually, with my other pond that was in the ground, once or twice, which was only a 1200 litre pond. But this pond, I think this is the first winter casualty I've had. Can't see anything drastically wrong with it. I think I last did a filter flush. It was last week. It was Crufts, so I had the week off, and we were showing at Crufts, so it would have been about the sort of Wednesday, Thursday before Crufts. And I was always fine then, but so how it's about 7 or 8 inch fish that's somehow gone down the bottom drain, which I've had that in the past. But you know, the bottom drain should only be about an inch or so, so may get that checked this year. So yeah, I'm hoping this year that a bit of a DIY project, but I don't know if I'll pull some, offer it out to if anybody wants to come and help me do it, or with better experience, or if I get someone to do it. But at work we had this, I was sold on this all-fangled new water system, a specialised water system. Effectively, it was an air gap system. So, but there was a tank, big fiberglass tank with it, and this system was nothing but a pain in the arse. That I had. If one thing wasn't going wrong with it, another thing was going wrong with it, and in January the pump failed on it, and to get the pump was going to be 600 or 700 quid plus having it fitted. So I just bugger it. We'll just have a conventional hot water cylinder, water coming into the room, and use that. So they took this tank out and left it, and I hadn't even thought about it at the time. But then when I saw it waiting to go in the skip, I says, "Oh, leave it. I'll have that. I can make a filter out of that." But I don't know whether to go down to something like a moving bed or a mechanical upflow filter, or if there's something else better. So what I might do is, when still at work at the minute, say bringing home, in the missus's eyes, rubbish, bringing rubbish home, I'm going to I'll get a photo of it at some point and throw it out there, see what everybody thinks, and so yeah. So just to recap on sort of previous videos, this is a 6,000 litre above ground pond running off a 10,000 litre aqua pump into an easy pod. And then I've got, just because I had it, I think it's about a 16,000 litre Jabo pump running running a pond skimmer that just basically goes straight round to the water blade. So my theory was that I always wanted some form of additional filtering to run off that pump. And when I've ever done water tests, and it was the same last week actually, I did a water test when I flushed the filter last week. Sorry, not the same as last week, but whenever I seem to do water tests, there'll be no ammonia, no nitrate, and the buffers and the pHs are always sort of wherever kind of thing. But nitrite always seems to be, if I'm going to have anything, it's always nitrite, but I don't have ammonia and I don't have nitrate. And I'd always want sort of, I watch your guys' videos, and your water always seems crystal clear, and I always think it can be better. So that's why I'm torn between biological filtration and mechanical filtration. Sun's coming round now, so I'm probably look like a God knows what. So yeah. So at some point I'll try, and maybe the next video, if I take some photos and what have you, and I'll put it out there. What the best we can do, but obviously, if I'm pumping out the pond at the moment, I'm pumping straight to the water blade, so I've got a good flow. But if I go into anything like an upflow filter, or because it's open top, so it won't be pressurised, so it'll return to the pond under gravity. So my question will be there is, will that be okay to run the water blade, or do I go down the route of splitting the flow from the pump, so some will go to the blade and some will go to the filter? Don't know. That's the bit where I think, don't DIY it, get some help to do it. But yeah, I'm torn between taking the covers off or not, or whether to leave it another couple of weeks. Obviously we've had some decent weather in the mid to top teens the past few days, but this week it's gone down pretty cool. Fish are reasonably active. They've been given a little bit of wheat germ on a day or so. We've had an addition, which I'll show you, of one of these affinity ponds. The missus got it into her head that she wanted an affinity pond, and I sort of said, yeah, okay, fair enough, you can have it. But to be fair, the height of it sits just right in the against my pond. I think that waterfall is calling out to have something like what's it called? Mind your business in, or something like that. But yeah, the missus put a lily in. It's got 3 comets in there. It's going to have a lot of, obviously a lot of fish in there, kind of thing. But yeah, just a bit of movement. So yeah, see how it goes. Main pond, there you go. Fish seem to have grown over winter.
I've noticed the difference in them. Certainly the lungfin or the butterfly koi. It's always had that mark on it on the side. Mickey Mouse, who we had,
who again the first time we had him, first night we had him, he went into the skimmer. He's coming back up nice now, and his markings was all that he had on him was in black markings. It looked like the silhouette of Mickey Mouse, so that's why we call him Mickey Mouse. But he's starting to develop now. Look, he's got a bit of carp pox, so he's got carp pox, but that'll go. And what else has changed? Silver, who last year had he looked as though he'd been spiked by the heron. Oh, a heron. He lost a few scales. That's growing back now. It's starting to just go sort of all black on the injury. So I knew it to take some time. Somebody sort of said, "Oh, it'll take a couple of years, a year or two, to sort of properly sort of cover over." Stroke's still going. He's going. So yeah. So I've just got to. I'm going to rub the edges of the inside edges of the pond lip off, and I'm not going to stain them this time. The stain was crap. I'm just going to paint it black, I think, just so it loses it. I've got to redo the brackets for the winter covers where I store them. I put some cheap brackets up last year, and they just buckled, so I'll put some more sturdier ones. So I've got to put those back. As I say, I'm still toying with when to take the covers off. We've really cut that bush down.
We had the guys in a week or so ago to trim the trees back, and I just sort of said, if it's not vertical, take it off. I don't care if you kill it. Just do what you can, and that's what they've done. So I'll say that comes back this year.
Essentially it's just a weed, but it gives a bit of cover to the back there. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know what where else we can go with this video, mate, to be honest. Woody's buggered off. Maybe she's still here, or Maeve. She's got to go up to Liverpool the end of the month to check for an operation on her foot. Yeah, Woody at Crufts did really well. He got a third in junior in his class, but to be fair, that was to 2 imports, so he's best in UK. So first time ever he was in the Crufts. Here he goes. There's Woody. Come here. Come here, Pop. Come here. Go on then. Woody. Little man in there. Yeah, he did really well. First time ever in the Crufts ring. So he's automatically qualified for Crufts next year. First time the wife was in the Crufts ring, so again, she did a brilliant job. So yeah, good day. Nothing to do with fish, but I thought you'd want to know. So yeah, we didn't do it last year, but we wanted to extend the wildlife pond. Still got a bit of a leak. We can never get to the bottom of the leak. It's got to be the pipe from the pond pump up to the waterfall that creates the stream. It's got to be that. If we don't run the pump, you don't lose any water. So the stream to the pond has got a join, which has got about 8 beads of gold label. Because we want to extend it, I ain't going to do it. I'm going to get Perky to do it, Steve Perky. But and outrageously, he's buggered off to Barbados again. I think we might just say, I know there'll be a lot of wastage. Let's just go for one piece of liner, and we want to sort of cut across and make more of a shallow out for the wildlife. We had loads of frogs last year from frog spawn. We had loads of frogs, but I've not seen one. We've not seen one this year yet. So whether it just, and other around the country, other people starting to get frog spawn. I think it's still a bit cool yet, to be honest. But we'll see where we go with that. Hopefully, I think if we do, great. But if not, we'll just the pond's the pond kind of thing. So yeah, guys, 15-minute video or so about. So hopefully, 15-minute waffle. I'll interest some of you. Give it a like. I like some engagement. So yeah, cheers for that, guys. Catch you later. Can't turn it off. Push me gloves on.